incomplete. Big hit on Malik Washington. Never had it as Walker and McDuffie were right there.
All right, Moneyball family, I'm excited right now because I have with me Mr. Isaiah McDuffie. What is up, my man?
How are you? Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, man. My pleasure. Only way I can describe your play is just you're a dog, man. You're a dog out there. You're hitting people, man. I like to watch highlight reels of big hits, and you were on a few of those last year, man. Congrats on the new contract. Congrats that everything that's going on in your life right now, man. It's got to be exciting to stay in Green Bay. How you feel about it?
Yeah, it's awesome. I'm just happy everything worked out. It's where I want to be. And, every year I feel like, we had a chance to compete for the Super Bowl. And, so that played a big factor in that. And I'm just excited to be back.
I like your vibe, man. You're a pretty chill guy. And it seems so almost contradictive the way you play football versus your personality. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, people say that all the time.
Do they?
Yeah. I don't know. I just feel like when I get on the field, I guess I kind of just turn the switch on. You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
But in life, I don't want to walk through life the way I play, or I'll be like a madman. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would. It seems like linebackers, though, in general, man. Like, I know you're back in Buffalo a lot, and we're going to get into Elmo's in a minute because Elmo's is my #1 sponsor, by the way. So I just found out that you're an Elmo's guy. Finally, someone on the show that can relate to me with Elmo's. I tell all these athletes all the time, and they say barbell. And I'm like, no, man, you guys got it wrong. So I'm like trying to bring all these athletes in from out of town, and I'm telling them, when you come in to see me, I'm taking you to Elmo's, double dipped Cajun.
No doubt.
Touch it, right?
No doubt. Those double dips are crazy.
Thank you. Like I can't say it enough. And these people all have their own. You know what it is? The people tell them barbell or Duffs, right? So they get caught up in the hype. But
Yep.
I've taken a few guys to Elmo's, and I've made fans out of them. And
yeah.
Shout out Adrian and Elmo's. Thanks for all your support and everything that you guys do for the show. And you got a fan right here across from me in Isaiah McDuffie, man. These are the best wings in Buffalo, hands down. What hypes you up? What hypes you up when you go out?
I don't know. Just, I guess, your love for the game. You know what I mean? Like, once you step on that field, being a linebacker, you kind of have to be a little different. Got to have kind of a screw loose. You know what I mean? You're really running into people full speed the whole game. So
well, and the special team stuff too, man. You know what? I got to ask you. You're the first person I've had on that I could ask this question to. Actually, what do you think of the new special teams with the kickoff stuff?
It's different. I see what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? They're trying to like make it less like high impact, try to create less separation from each other. So I get what they're trying to do. Me personally, I miss the old kickoff because I loved it so much, but I'm getting used to it, I would say.
One of your highlights, I think you were talking to the announcer from the Packers a couple years back. I think it was the announcer for the Packers.
Yeah, you're talking about Larry.
Yes. And one of the things that you mentioned in that was how much you love special teams and how much you love trucking down and hitting guys. And I remember him saying it was such a lost art, and he must not know you grew up in Buffalo and watched Steve Tasker play.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? Tasker is a dog, is a little guy. He's still the West Turf spokesman. This little guy, he's 5'8", 5'9", we'll give him, right? He'll yell at me. Maybe he's 5'10". Sorry, Steve. But he would get down, man, and just make these hits on people, and you would just be left puzzled on how that dude went down and hit people so hard, right? You're a little bit bigger, but, I mean, you do the same thing. You just go down and you just lights out people, man. Is that where you felt when you first started and got in the league that you could make an impact to show what you can do, to then, get the contract you just got?
Definitely. I feel like, me being a 6th-round pick coming in, being a young guy, I wasn't going to see defense right away. You know what I mean? Like, it was going to take a lot of injuries or something for me to be out there on defense initially. And, to gain the trust, I know I could be impactful on special teams. So, I took that, just very personal. I just wanted to, be the best special teams player in the NFL. That was kind of my, mindset. And, there's 3 phases of the game, and, special teams, that's a huge part of the game. You could win or lose on special teams. And, I just I just took it personal, and I just wanted, to be the best special teams player I could be early in my career.
I see now why they just paid you what they paid you, because that answer right there is, I would take 52 of you. I mean, seriously, on any team, because you get into egos, you get into certain people's, everybody's kind of, you know what I mean? And when you talk about special teams, people always feel in football like it's not that right. I mean, it's not a sexy position, right? You want to
Yep.
be that wide out, or you want to be that Roquan Smith, to flashier, if you will, type of linebacker. You know what I'm saying? Or a big, but you just saying what you said is why you are where you are, and you're so young that there's plenty more contracts coming down the road, dude. And I like the way you play the game. It's like Buffalo grit. You know what I mean? Does that make
No
sense?
doubt. No doubt. No, I love Buffalo, and I'm always repping Buffalo because, that's where I'm from, and I love the people here. So, I take pride in that.
How much like Green? I've never been to Green Bay, man. I've been to every baseball stadium in the country, but
Mhm.
Milwaukee's not Green Bay. What's Green
Yeah.
Bay like? Tell me about Green Bay a little bit.
It's small, it's real small, but it's cool
Does it
because,
remind you of Buffalo? Like, is it similar vibe?
it's similar. It's definitely similar vibes, but I would say like the stadium is it's kind of different from any other stadium I've ever seen because it's like you drop Lambeau in the middle of like a neighborhood. It's crazy.
Is there big lots to tailgate?
Yeah, there's huge lots, but like right around those lots are like houses.
Yeah, because it's
Like,
outside the city. Yeah, right. Like,
exactly, yeah.
and Buffalo's got that a little bit, but I know what you're saying. There's more going on, in Foxborough to a point, right? But I've heard that too. Like, it's just kind of it's funny to hear that, man. Have you seen the new Bill Stadium? You've been around?
No, I haven't seen. I've seen like pictures of it, but I haven't like
Oh,
drove
you haven't
past
been
it and stuff.
really? You haven't been around? Where are you now?
Mm-mm.
Where do you stay? Do you now have a house and place in Green Bay?
Yeah, I rent in Green Bay, but I bought a house here in Buffalo.
Okay, so you're in Buffalo now.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. You gotta go check it out, man. Even today, like they've built it so fast. Like, bro, it's a full stadium already. I drove by it
Really?
yesterday, and it looks like Wembley Field in London or something. Like it's already fully formed, and I guess they're kind of vibing it off of that. So it's got the curved top, and I guess the top's going to be it melts the snow when it hits the top, and most of the fans are going to be covered. But you're in Green Bay, but hopefully. For
Hmm.
my own selfish reasons, I want to see you play in Buffalo one day, man. And I know you can't say this now because you're a Green Bay Packer and you're bleeding green and yellow. I get it, man. But later, maybe later in the career, you can say, "Hey, I'd love to come and play in Buffalo." Because you got to admit, growing up as a little kid, to be able to even say that would be cool, right?
Yeah, like I grew up a Bills fan, and I like to see them win, when because I literally have nothing to do with the Packers, you know what I mean? They're AFC kind of.
Yeah,
So I like to watch the games and, I still like to stay tuned and see how they do.
dude. I don't think we're too far off by predicting a Green Bay Buffalo Bills Super Bowl. I don't think we're
That would
crazy.
be amazing. Yeah,
I
that
don't
would
think
be
we're
fun.
crazy saying that. Like, listen, the run's going to end for KC. Buffalo's going to be there. I'm going to say that with full confidence. Josh just got it, is not. Do you see that Bosa move? Do you see that?
Yeah, that was a good move. Definitely.
Crazy. I didn't even think he was on their radar. I woke up to that. I was like, what? Joey Bosa. I mean, you can't get a bigger
Yeah,
name, right? I mean, that's
yeah,
crazy.
yeah.
Hopefully that was the piece we needed. I think we're still sorry, I'm gonna go on a little Buffalo tangent here for a minute. Sorry, Green Bay fans. But I think
Mhm.
we're still a receiver, away because I think Cooper's gonna go. And I had heard that the Packers, potentially a spot for Cooper. So, we'll see. I don't know if he landed anywhere yet, but there's news. I think I like Jaden Reed a lot. Is he a friend of yours?
Yeah, Jay
He's
Reed's a great dude.
he seems like
Definitely.
a great dude, man. And I think you line up somebody next to him, with a little bit more downfield presence, a little streakier maybe. And Green Bay, man, Jay Love is that dude. I think I would love to see Buffalo Green Bay Super Bowl. And I'm gonna call it right now. I'm calling my shot like Babe Ruth. 2 years from now. Okay. So it'll be the first year of the Bills playing in the new stadium for the 26th Super Bowl. Oh, it'd have to be the 27th Super Bowl, right? 2 years. Yeah, it'd be the
Yeah,
27th
yeah.
Super Bowl is going to be the Bills Packers. All right. And my man right here, Zay McDuffie, is going to end the game with 11 tackles, but he's not going to hurt our boy Josh because you'd never do such a thing. You would never hurt that man. You're licking your chops.
Good
Yeah, what do you
player.
want?
He's a good player,
Yeah.
Definitely a good player. He
What's up?
deserves he
Go ahead.
deserves what he got. He definitely deserves what he got.
Yeah. And he's doing so much for the city. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you love to see that, you love to see it.
People kind of compare, they say the last quarterback that brought that kind of attention to Buffalo was Jim Kelly. Jim Kelly, we had to club over the head, chloroform him, and bring him to Buffalo. Like he was kicking and
I heard
screaming.
the
You know what
story.
I
Yeah.
mean? Like
He
he
did
was
not
kicking
want to
and
come.
he
And he
wouldn't
hasn't
come, man.
left. He hasn't
And can
left
you
since.
believe he was the first quarterback to get $1 million. Can you believe that?
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that till the other day. Jim
Wow.
Kelly was the first QB to get $1 million a season, and now here we are 35 years later. And Josh, there's so many zeros in his contract, I can't count that high, man. But yeah, and people, they try to compare Kelly to Allen, and I'm like, you can stop. Like, Allen wanted to come, and he's an absolute, like, he loves Buffalo. He embraced it, and Kelly, say what you want, he didn't want to come here, man. So whatever. But let's move on from that. Who were some of your idols, I guess, growing up? Like, who were the line? I guess, how did you emulate your play? Because you were always a defensive player, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yeah, I used to play offense too in high school, but I feel like I always kind of saw myself on the defensive side of the ball, I guess you could say.
Yeah. Okay. And then who were some guys that you were growing up watching that you said, man, I want to play like him?
I used to love those like 2015 Seahawks when they had that
Oh, the
great
Legion of Boom?
defense, like the Legion of Boom.
Rich Sherman, them?
Yeah, like Cam Chancellor, like I used to love watching him play. He was someone I was just that I got. I guess you could say like I wanted to be like. I just liked the way he played. I liked how physical he was. Like he was a big safety coming downhill. Just you know what I mean. And their linebackers were really good. Bobby's still playing and he's still producing. You know what I mean? So it's like it's
That
just
was the one.
awesome. I mean, I'm not gonna say like there was specific. There's some players, but it was just more like defenses that I would watch play, and I'm just like, yo, like I could watch this all day. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you would more emulate the style of play as opposed to one person, right?
Exactly, exactly.
No, I dig it. I was watching a video I found somewhere of you and my man Means, and you guys. He's been on Moneyball, so shout out Steven Means. And you guys showed up at a high school. I don't know when it was, and
Yep.
it was like a boy band, man. It was like Backstreet Boys showed up. You guys were getting so
Nah,
much love.
nah, for
People
real, it
were,
was crazy.
they
Yeah,
lost
it
their
was crazy.
minds. People were going crazy. There was like
Yeah,
girls jumping off. Like, oh my God.
nah,
It was
nah,
so
for
cool to
real.
see, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it was awesome.
How's
It
that
was
feel to get
awesome.
that love when you come back to your school like that?
Yeah, it's crazy. I didn't personally go to that school, but I
Yeah, you
know
didn't even
like
go to that school.
I
You were
know
just,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
but I know the administration that were there, and and my dad was close with, I want to say, someone in the administrative department there. So we decided to do that school, and it was awesome. They were so happy to see us, and just get a chance to spend time with us. It was just awesome, and just talking to them and, just showing them love right back because, they were so welcoming and it was just awesome.
I watched your body language and I watched me. You guys were both so amazing to them. And I watched your body language, man. And, I think when you first came in, you didn't really expect that.
No, yeah, no.
And the way they reacted, you played it off perfectly, man. You kind of marched down, you saw a couple kids, you dabbed a couple people, you slapped them up, and you just mixing it up with them. I'll say this honestly, man, all joking aside. There could have been 2 or 3 kids in that class, right? In that auditorium that might be ballers, that might be this, that might be that are like, oh man, I'm from Buffalo, I'd never make it, whatever. And you guys coming, 2 NFLers, showing up at the school and slapping them up and showing you're human and showing that type of emotion, you could have changed 2 or 3 people's lives, and I don't know if you think about that often, bro, but you really have the opportunity to do that. You're in an amazing position. You know what I mean? Does
Oh
that ever
yeah.
cross your mind? Like, man, I can't believe I'm in this position that I could sculpt some young blood who wants to play football.
Yeah, definitely. That's what it's all about. Just trying to be impactful and, show them. I kept like telling them, like I was just like you sitting right in these chairs. I went to a Buffalo public school. I'm Buffalo born and raised. I've done what I did. And, at the end of the day, there's talent, but there's a lot of hard work that goes into it too. Like you could be talented if you got the talent too. You know what I mean? And hard work, that's a great combination. You get a lot of very far. You get very far, doing that kind of work. So it's
And I
awesome.
and I think that right there will just kind of light the fire under some people because there is the natural
Exactly.
talent is there for a lot of people, but they don't want to do the work.
Exactly.
I don't think a lot of younger kids understand how hard Isaiah McDuffie works. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Hmm.
think like, oh, he's just an athlete. Like, look at like Tom Brady or somebody. They think he just the dude just goes out and he is to play
Yeah.
football as long as he did, man. That guy, was in bed by 8 o'clock. He was,
Mhm.
he ate like a rabbit, whatever. But, and I'm not saying that's normal either. We're still going to get after them chicken wings. Trust me. But, for a lot of it is maintaining your body, treating it the right way and, not, I mean, you can't say, I want to be a pro athlete, sit on your butt and drink beer. I mean, it's just, you got to go out and you got to work for it. Right.
100%. It takes sacrifices. And especially like, high school and, college and even now, it's just being very disciplined in your lifestyle and, and getting extra work in, doing the little things right. I feel like that takes you a long way.
That's why I think the mentally strong ones make it. That's my own personal opinion. There's a lot of temptation, even BC, right? You're at BC and, there's girls everywhere. There's booze everywhere. There's, hey, come on, Zay, come to this party, come here. Right. And you have to be able to say, no, I got practice in the morning and that's what I'm going to focus on. So when everybody's going out, you're going to sleep. Is that fair to say?
No doubt. No doubt. I feel like, there's times to have fun and then there's times, you got to be locked in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like if you got practice the next day, you can't be going out and doing all that. You got to be locked in, ready to go. You know what I mean? Trying to get better the next day. There's times, in the off season if you want to, have a couple friends over, have a good time, stay up late, watch a UFC fight or something like
Sure,
that.
sure.
But at the end of the day, during the season, you got to be very disciplined and very, just ready to roll so you could have a productive day the next day.
Yeah, man, I love the way you describe it. And you honestly are, and I'm not saying this because you're sitting on the other end of the camera right now, but you are, at least you got me fooled, bro. You are, the role model for kids. A lot of kids watch Moneyball, of all sports, right? Football, basketball, whatever, because I have all athletes of all different stuff on it. You're the type of guest, man. I want people to rewind, play, rewind, play, rewind, play, and
Mhm.
hear that and really hear it. So thanks for giving me that. You know what I mean? 'Cause I have three little boys who are athletes and they're playing sports and they kind of have that attitude right now of, yeah, we're just good enough. We'll just, you know what I mean? They don't
Well,
want to work for it and they'll
well,
find out real quick,
you
you
gotta
know,
be honest. You
right?
know,
I'm gonna rewind what you just laughing at them right there too, because that's perfect, man.
I thought
Uh,
you said they were. I thought you were gonna say that they were working hard, but
no, no,
hey,
no, they're not at all. They're not. They
you
just think,
gotta.
they better, they're young. My oldest is 11, but
Okay,
I just
yeah,
set
there
up
you
the
go.
gym for him. And I said, Deacon, listen, you don't have to be muscle man. Just go down. I set up the bands for him and stuff. I said, just go down. And because honestly, he's 11. I don't really want him, lifting weights and stuff yet,
Yeah, of course.
but I want him doing something just to get in the good habits. I don't
Hmm.
care if he's got a 2 pound dumbbell. I just want him to get into the habits.
Yeah, and that's it's interesting you say that because I feel like early on in my life, I feel like my kind of my mindset and my work ethic that honestly comes from like my father. You know what I mean? Because like I feel like you don't really know how to work hard until someone shows you. You know what I mean? What it's like to work hard.
Nailed it.
And
You
and
nailed it.
he showed me, you know what I mean? Especially, from seventh grade all through high school, he showed me what it's like to work hard and and I just kind of I guess took his work ethic. That's kind of the work ethic I have now. That's what I model myself after, you know what I mean? Because he showed me what a hard day's work is like, you know?
Listen, Pops is a little intimidating too. I met the man. So, I think if he got in my face and he told me to do something, I think I'm moving. So I think you had the right dad and he pushed all the right buttons, man. He really did. This has been a lot of fun, man. I think, next season is going to be a lot of fun for you, when conditioning starts and everything gets going, not to call it a weight off your shoulder, monkey off your back, but having a contract and having nothing to worry about in that regard. That's got to be an amazing feeling, right? Now you can just go out and play football. Is that like a big sigh of relief?
Yeah, it's a blessing, Again, just seeing all the hard work pay off and, being able to get a second contract in the NFL, I feel like that's just awesome. I just feel like I'm
You're in
really blessed.
there's very
You know
few,
what I mean?
right? That
Yeah.
you get that rookie deal and then, without even going to free agency too, which is nice.
Yeah.
The fact that they wanted you, that's becoming a rare thing where a team
Mhm.
wants you. You could have went on FA, you could have went on the market, whatever. But the fact that this team, again, man, that they said, no, we want to lock this dude in is just a huge, huge. I really, I know you understand it, but just I can't compliment you enough, man, on how much that means for them to want you back and say, this is the guy we want as one of our 52, because investing in you, and I know obviously, you know, you still got to work for your role and everything else, but
Yeah.
there's this, we want you as our future. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So, all right, I'm going to ask you this question. I like to ask people, if you could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, all right, cannot be family. So you can't pop Saint in there. All right. If you
Mhm.
could have dinner with 3 people, dead or alive, let's hear who would you want to go have, or let's say in your case, wings. Who would you want to go to Elmo's with and have some double dip Cajuns with?
3 people. Muhammad Ali is one. Definitely Muhammad Ali, because you know he's to me he's he is the greatest of all time. Honestly, one of the greatest athletes in any sport, and just you know I'm real big into like fighting and stuff.
Yeah,
So
UFC
I'll probably
stuff.
say like Mike Tyson
Okay.
too, and
I'll give you the third one. I'm going to warm you up. Let's say it's a music, somebody in music. Who would it be?
someone in music.
And I really put you on the hot seat.
Nah, for real. I'm trying to think of a
It's
good
hard.
one.
It's hard to think of
It
it, you
is
know?
hard. It definitely is. Especially, you know, I feel like when you sit down and someone asks you just, I don't know, it's hard to
Well,
think.
it is because you could go right there. You could go, you know, like I'm a hip hop guy, right? I'm a
Yeah.
Wu Tang guy and stuff like
I
that. But
guess you could say Tupac. I
okay,
want to talk to Tupac.
okay, yeah, I think that's a great answer, man. Kind of get in his
Yeah.
head. I mean, the dude was a
Yeah, for
poet.
sure.
You know, his
No
mom had a lot
doubt.
of stories. So let's go with Muhammad Ali, Tupac, and who was your third?
Tyson.
Tyson. Tyson would be amazing, but Tyson, I would be so afraid that I'd say the wrong thing to him that he would just break my neck.
I know. I know. He got that dog in him.
He's got that pit bull. He's got that rabies pit bull in him, man. That's what he's got.
Nah, for real.
No, you got to be careful with him. You're like, nice dog. Can I pet him? Yeah, sure. Rips your arm off. This was cool, man. Thank you so much for coming on. I wish you nothing but success moving forward, and definitely want to stay in touch with you, man. And thanks for taking the time.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having me.